Okay, today we're going to take this $1.99 Harbor Freight screwdriver, make a new handle for it so that it matches this hammer. Alright, let's get started.
I'm just going to take the torch, heat up the plastic handle of that screwdriver, remove that metal insert that's in there. It may look like a lot, but it doesn't take a lot of heat to melt that plastic handle, just enough to get that metal insert out. I'm going to start off by turning the handle between centers, then I'll drill it out after. I'm using a piece of oak here that was left over from when I made that hammer. I'm going to start off using a roughing gouge. The only other tools I'll use in this project is a skew a little bit and the parting tool. There's a little crack towards the end of the piece, and I'm just using a little bit of CA glue to keep it together while I'm turning it. As I turn the piece, that crack should just come out and not be a problem. Here I'm just using the parting tool to get a rough idea of where the copper collar is going to go. I'm just using a piece of 3/4 inch copper water pipe, getting the inside diameter, and then I'll transfer that onto the piece. Now that I have the piece of copper cut, I'm just going to transfer the length of the copper onto the piece. And you can see here I'm just using the skew just to take a nice shaving cut, just to smooth out the piece. I'm not hardly taking anything off. Here I'm using the parting tool just to set the length of the screwdriver. I'm not going to go all the way down, but I'm just going to go down enough to put a nice tenon on there so I can still finish the back end of the screwdriver. Then I'm going to take a little hacksaw. I'm still not going to go all the way to the center. I'm still just going to leave a little bit left, and that'll come off when I drill it out. I'm just determining here the size of drill bit I need to drill a hole through the piece for the shaft of the screwdriver. It'll take 3 different size drill bits to complete the project. The first drill bit will be for the shaft of the screwdriver. The second bit will be for the shank of the insert, and the third one will be for the outer part of the insert. This is a new product I'm trying. This is a sealer accelerator that you'll put on porous surfaces first, and then you'll use the glue afterwards. You have to be careful because when you use the accelerator, this stuff dries instantly. have the screwdriver handle drilled out now, so in order to hold it on the lathe, I use my drill chuck and I put some electrical tape around the shaft of the screwdriver just to protect it while I'm getting it set up to put the collar on. Just a little fine tuning with a file here, and I'm going to use the same glue accelerator that I used to put the insert in the handle, and you can see here you don't have a lot of time and it dries instantly. Just a quick burnishing until I put the sealing sealer on. Just a quick tip, I take a cheap paintbrush, cut the handle down, and I leave it in the can until the can is totally empty, and then I dispose of it. I sanded the handle down and I went up to 320 grit. Just going to use a damp rag to get the dust off, and then I'll put a CA finish on, and this also has an accelerator. I lost track, but I think I put around 10 coats of CA finish on. You want to have it sufficient enough on there so that you can wet sand it and polish it with the micro mesh. Now I'm going to take the hacksaw and part off that tenon. I'm going to use my Hot Brand Maker's Mark on the end of the screwdriver. I like holding it in the drill press because if you don't have it hot enough the first time, you can heat it up a little bit more and redo it, and it stays lined up. And a little more CA finish on the end of the screwdriver to finish off the handle. And a little wet sand with the micro pads, and I went up to 12,000 grit. And then finished it off with a little plastic polish and gave it a good buff. Then the only things left is to assemble the screwdriver.